Should we do
Whew.
this? Should we do this thing?
Do we have to?
Back at it again.
Back at it again. It's a rerun, folks. You don't need to watch.
Yeah, you saw this, right? You saw this last time we did this? Okay.
All right, so question number 1. Cancel, cut. Stop. Cancel. Cancel.
Cancel.
Cancel. Stop.
Control-Alt-Delete. Well, as the last video said with that number 1 comment, you guys know who we are, but just in case, I'm Alex.
I'm Lyndon.
And yeah, we are going to go through some BTS footage again, but this time of Holy Smokes.
And yeah, Holy Smokes is our workplace mockumentary for this family business down in Beverly Hills. And it's kind of a step into that narrative marketing because as we've seen the exponential growth of AI, we've also noticed that a lot of companies are doing narrative marketing where instead of, like, say, for example, Coca-Cola, they went 100% AI for their commercials, and they received backlash, and they said, oh, don't worry, oh, okay, we won't do it. What did they do? They went back to using 100% AI. Yeah. And so what a lot of brands are doing, since so many people are fed up watching AI, and I can't stand it myself, what a lot of people are doing are hiring crews and casts and such to film stuff in their business as narrative marketing.
Right.
So, yeah, that was the whole start of
Holy
Smokes.
Kind of the whole plan from the very beginning was, all right, let's make a TV show. Yeah. But for a specific, company or organization or whatever it is. And so we were, very grateful to get to work with Stokes and, the family that owns it. And yeah, it was a process of, all right, what story do we want to tell? And I wrote a couple of different versions, and, we went back and forth with some notes of things. And then we got one together we liked and did a table read of casting, and kind of it all fell into place. It was very fun. And
it's very different from our other works, for sure. As in, if you've seen the trailer for another Fairytale, link that down below. That is a romantic comedy that Alex wrote, and his feature film Delicate Little Things, that was the first project that we had worked on. That one where it was more of the camera was meant to like put you into the space with these characters. Yeah. So it was a lot of handheld, it was a lot of hecticness. Yeah. And then another Fairytale was much more methodical in that it was more planned out, specifically handheld shots here, specifically Steadicam shots here on sticks or on tripod, if you want to call it that.
Much more cinematic.
Much more cinematic. And then this being a mockumentary, we're going to show you our first episode, and we'll kind of break that down as well. But you can tell it's a little rocky, but it's what we were trying to go for were the vibes and movements of The Office. Yeah. And so a lot of crash zooms, again, that hecticness, kind of like Delicate Little Things, but it still has to be much more methodical than I was expecting. You know?
It was interesting because we had to, instead of, we were, again, so grateful and gracious to work with some amazing actors on all of these projects, but it was, Holy Smokes was very specifically written where the camera was setting up and delivering punchlines of jokes. Right. Which is something we hadn't worked through before. Right. And so we weren't so heavily relying on the actors to deliver the comedy, but it was more what we were planning and putting together with camera angles and crash zoom. So it was fun. It was a fun experience, but very different.
Yeah, so like Delicate Little Things, the camera, like I said, puts you into the space with the rest of the characters, so it's almost as if it's a POV. Right. It's almost as if it's a character.
You're in the room watching.
But that's more of like, this is a POV character. In Holy Smokes, the workplace mockumentary, it's almost an additional cast. It's almost an additional cast member, this camera. As in, its actions is part of the storytelling as well. Absolutely. Of the crash zooms and all that kind of stuff. And we actually do have the cast interact with the cameraman a couple of times, which is interesting because it's me and Alex camera operating. And you'll be able to see it. No, you will have been able to see it because episode 3 will have dropped. But there's a couple of whip movements where it goes from filming me, so Alex is camera operating, to whip to him, and it's me camera operating, and you honestly can't even tell, which is really freaking awesome.
It is fun, yeah. We had to very specifically plan out those moments of, all right, you guys are standing here, don't move. Lyndon, I'll take the camera. All right, now stay there. Here, Lyndon, take the camera because we have to finish. It was very, very specific, but a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to go through actually the beginning song and little teaser intro that we use for the opening credits. And then go into some BTS and then kind of talk through the episode itself.
And Daniel Vasquez, our good friend, is actually the one who wrote and composed this song. And we wanted something of a nostalgia vibe.
Yeah.
So it has very much of a Cheers kind of vibe to it. But he did a great job. And I think he had like 2 different renditions. And this is the one that kind of leans a little bit into that Rasta, Bob Marley kind of vibe. And since Holy Smokes is obviously taking place in a smoke shop, that's the one that we ended up going with. But yeah, he did a phenomenal job. And everyone that, well, not everyone, but a lot of people that I've listened to the song, they said, yeah, it's just so catchy. It's stuck in your head.
So catchy.
Yeah.
Obnoxiously so, but that was the point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you're ready, we can get it going in 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. The corner of Oakwood and La Cienega.
Yeah.
You know, despite it being a stoplight,
Yeah.
there's so many freaking accidents that happen on that corner. I don't know what it is.
And one of those lights takes forever too, but it was kind of cool because when I wrote the pilot, this is kind of specifically what I wrote as the opening credit sequence. And then, you know, Lyndon spent hours going through finding the fonts and the little animations for each character, and this was a process, but it gives me such like workaholic vibes, and it's so great for what we wanted it to be. But and that song by that's his voice, by the way, singing it. But
and then that right there at the very end is Kevin's laugh. Holy smokes! But yeah, so what was really cool about that was because I mean, yes, we've had people actually comment of, oh, you should shorten down the intro; it's too long. And by today's standards, I would say so. But again, that's not what we're going for. Especially with Lost and Found, we're trying to lean more into that millennial nostalgia kind of vibe. And so that was kind of my inspiration as I was sifting through footage to edit this, was to find the specific moments, was kind of like The Office, where it shows the setting, what's going on, but it also shows each of the characters. So I like that aspect of it.
I do too.
And the song is telling a story in and of itself as well, in that he's not repeating himself.
No.
If you listen to the lyrics, I'll post the link down to the original trailer so you can watch that by itself. But yeah, it's cool. It's actually telling a story as well.
Yeah, well, we didn't really want the show to be about the shop itself. We really wanted it to be about the cast and the people that come in and the environment of what makes a smoke shop. And I think Danny hit that nail on the head with that song about why people smoke and why they get together and why it's such a community based of like that neighborhood spot that you can just hang out at.
But it's also because, again, referencing the exponential growth of AI, what we've been noticing is that, yes, brands are still important, but people want to know the faces behind the brands. Hence us doing these videos. Even though neither one of us are comfortable doing this, I don't like being in front of camera unless there's a script in my hand and there's a character to hide behind.
My palms are so sweaty right now. It's disgusting.
And I mean, my brain will go blank sometimes and I just don't know what to say. So if I'm rambling right now, yada, 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 yada. But
no, I was very proud of just the beginning intro moment of this. It was one of my favorite parts. But all right, we're going to get into the BTS here. So this is actually the very first day of shooting Holy Smokes. We had done one table read prior, and everybody got their Stokes t-shirts and sweatshirts, and we took photos and did a little photo shoot with everybody. But this was the very first day of really lighting the set and you know, getting everybody prepared of the space. I mean, you can see, you know, everybody's kind of doing their own thing here. But we also brought in a lot of different actors, Abigail being amazing as always. We brought in a bunch of different actors to get like little reel moments, which we've posted and you've seen.
Strapping up.
Strapping in with the Steadicam. But it was so interesting. I think the first day on set filming any project is so specific.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to see everybody kind of figure out their character dynamics between themselves, and seeing how that, like, oh, and there's Scott.
Yeah. in his underwear, in his Speedo underwear.
In his Speedo underwear.
But, I mean, so the thing about the first episode, and I'll be the first to say this, is it is a little rocky because, again, this is Alex and I, our first time attempting a mockumentary style shoot.
Yeah.
So I was just very self-conscious of, I hope people don't judge us too much on our first piece of work, because we've only posted up to episode 3 now. Yeah. And we're going to have 10 total, and you can noticeably tell it getting consistently better. But yeah, that was Daniel Vasquez, who is our producer and music composer.
Yeah.
And Abigail, she plays Rory. She's supposed to be our store TikToker, our influencer.
Our social media star.
And then this right over here is Colt, played by Satchel. And Satchel is our store actor.
Yeah, wannabe actor.
Exactly, because I wanted him to be kind of like a lot of people that you meet in LA who are the young bloods. They're fresh, but
we were never like that, though. Obviously,
I was a little bit. In terms of you have such high hopes, and I remember my first year in LA. I have an audition for The Walking Dead, and you think,
so
this is gonna be my big break. But nah, dude, you're gonna be stuck in LA for 10, 15 years, forever. And it's gonna have a around your throat, and
I think Lily has the GoPro for this. I think she was doing our BTS for this day.
No, Lily's been great. She's been all our projects. It's almost entirely her, and that's why it's for my interview for another fucking Fairytale. I put a little montage of just Lily, because she likes to spin the camera around. She'll talk to it, and
after this day though, Kevin took over. He took over the BTS and was doing the GoPro footage, and you'll see. We'll go through the other days with him, but you hear his giggle in the background as he's filming, which is very fun.
And then he'll sporadically say, "How long you been with her?
Yeah.
How long you been with her?"
He does his little.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was interesting because it was our first time really working through moments with these actors, and them kind of getting an understanding of what specifically we were doing. Elena is playing Boston, our store manager, and she's very, very big in this community,
in the weed world.
And so, she was bringing kind of really great kind of thoughts and things to which products to highlight and how to highlight them, and it was really great. And I forgot about that. We built there it is in the back. We built a employee of the month board in the script. Elena's character, Boston, she puts it together. So Lily brought her little Polaroid camera, and we were doing a photo shoot with all the actors, putting it up on the board, which was an homage to the poster that you and I put together for the show itself.
Yeah, I'll put I'll put the poster right here for a sec.
It was a fun thing because this Stogues, this shop, this world is already made, but we got to really include and incorporate really specific things.
That's Scott Stewart. He's actually a stand-up comedian. He does a lot of shows here in LA. A lot of shows.
Very funny.
So I'll put his Instagram right there real quick as well.
And he's come in for two
episodes.
Two episodes so far, yeah. He's been great.
He's been one of the shop owner's favorite characters because he's always wearing the Speedo.
Yeah. He's playing a lot of fun little characters. That's kind of been a fun project about this, is that each time we shoot, we've been able to bring in some other actors for reels, for little cameos, for get to highlight them, and you'll see moving forward with some of the other episodes. I mean,
that's been one of the coolest thing about it
cool.
And I kind of joked around about it when we were shooting episode 5 a couple weeks back.
Oh yeah.
Was that it almost feels like a mini networking event because episode 5, since Kevin had his accident. Oh, and first, again, thank you to everyone who donated to his GoFundMe, and everyone. So many people were like checking in on him and asking us like, "Oh, how's he doing? How's he doing?" Well, thankfully, he's out of the hospital. It's 3.5 weeks in the hospital, and he's a couple of months of bed rest at home, but he's now back at work. But
being annoying as ever.
Yeah,
as he always is.
We get the giggles again, and I told him now that he's better, I can whoop his ass because he put us through so much.
Yeah, he
All
did.
that stress he put us through took years off my life
Yeah.
because we all love Kevin so much.
This is him, by the way, with the GoPro
Yeah.
camera now, filming things. I think this is probably when he took over, but
And that was our funny thing, was our intent with Kevin was to be like our Silent Bob. He
Right.
wasn't going to be a large speaking role
No.
character. But after editing the first couple of episodes, you can very much tell that he's the heart of the show.
absolutely.
And I've jokingly said to the shop owner and Alex, the director, that of all the characters, like all of us are professional actors minus Kevin, and Kevin being who he is, I think he'll be the one that goes viral because it's just he's in his natural element there, you know, and yeah, so he's gonna be awesome. You guys definitely have to tune in for his,
Yeah.
you know.
He's great. We didn't get a whole lot of BTS from that first day just because it was our first time. We were setting up. It was a new environment that we were working with, and the actors were new. And
The way I like to think about it is it's kind of like a brand new car, brand new motorcycle in particular, of when you first get it, you're not really supposed to be revving it or going at this X amount of speed until you break it in,
Right.
you know? So it's a little rocky in the first episode, but again, it's our first time doing something like this. And so we had to work out some kinks, and what's very cool is you can see the progression
Absolutely.
and how quickly we're adapting to this new environment sort of situation. But you can also see, and what's really cool is how well the cast is kind of starting to meld together and weld together like a gumbo pot. That's an
Abigail reference.
Abigail reference. Yeah, there we go.
It's as we go through each episode, you'll notice that the BTS gets a little bit longer and longer and longer, and we show more things, and more actors are involved, and we've got more things going on. But this day was just such a fun, specific shoot. There's just that excitement in the air when you're first doing it, but it was really cool. But now it's going into the actual episode itself, and so
there's Kev.
this is the beginning of our first thing of holy smokes, that's so crazy.
And I play happy. I'm in the corner reading a book because we were trying to minimize my screen time as much as possible, just so obviously I'm camera operating
Right.
a lot of this, so we have to minimize my screen time as much as possible.
And I'm gonna age ourselves here a little bit, but when we first did the table read for the first episode, there were so many jokes and references that I added in that, because some of the actors are a lot younger than we are, they didn't get and didn't understand. And so I had to go through and change the references a bit. And shout out to Abigail and her sister, because her sister, which we gave her, I'm pretty sure we gave her on IMDb a script credit.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, because she was, Satchel, his character Colt, is very much the young millennial and uses the
Gen Z,
the hip lingo. Gen Z. And she was commenting on because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing research and writing these dialogues, and she was like, no, he would say it this way. He'd say this, and this. And so Abigail was like showing us text with her sister of, we got to change Colt's line to this and this. So big shout out, thanks, because the dialogue she was helping with was just so funny.
Yeah, no, Anna's been great in that regard, and she was so excited to see our projects as well. So it's very cool to have that kind of support from Abigail's family.
And there's Kev. This was actually a funny moment because there's a beat in the script where you're about to see it. Colt walks in, and he's like, "All right, everybody, drop what you're doing, pay attention to me," and Kev drops the bong, and we did it maybe 2 or 3 times. And it never broke.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, well, we can sell this joke. And then the very last time we did it, it did break. And so it was just one of these things like, great, Kev, of course you can't break it, and then you do break it. And it was very funny. Just those little moments that you gotta.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is on this project, we've kind of had to, in some moments, stay scripted as much as possible, but there are moments where we do have to improv because it's like, oh, well, that didn't mean to happen, but...
Yeah, so there's the moment where it didn't break, but it kind of worked better for the joke that it didn't, and he's laughing through it. But their dynamic as a group is just really spectacular.
And weed's legal in Cali, so...
But obviously that was prop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously prop.
Obviously, we're not using real stuff. That's crazy.
He. And then it goes into the intro. So
goes into
as
the
you can
intro.
see with the layout, it's very much like The Office, where it has that quote cold open.
Yeah.
And then it goes into the intro, and yeah. But this and episode 1, I'll link below, or just scroll back in a few videos so you can take a gander. And if you do watch episode 1, check out 2 and 3, because it's, again, I want you to see the progression that we've made. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, I am as well. And it is kind of cool, you know, we put multiple episodes in this opener, which is very common, but it was kind of cool that we thought that through enough to kind of build this out this way, because like your intro is from, you know,
Episode
2, yeah, so there's different things where we were able to flush them together. But
and look at that, Kevin is just popping a squat and he's opening Pokemon cards while he's quote on clock.
yeah,
But that's the other funny thing too, is as I see these quote workers doing their thing in these episodes, what's kind of funny, what popped in my mind the other day when I was editing one of the other episodes, and there's a clip of Satchel literally just sitting in front of the fridge on his phone drinking a soda from the fridge.
Yeah.
What popped in my mind was, if a customer were to walk in right now, this is what they see.
yeah,
like,
exactly.
How would this play in real life?
It's, and I want to say it was Abigail's idea to have Satchel duct taping his phone to the bong as a prop, which was great. And this was such a fun moment, getting to film his auditions, which is a little, you know, if you're not
Over the top.
Yeah, but if you're not also involved in Hollywood and auditioning, it's not really going to make sense to you. But this to me is just such a good inside joke, and it's so funny because some of the self-tapes you get are absolutely ridiculous.
Well, because yeah, I mean that's especially after the lockdowns, a little bit before, but especially after the lockdowns, a lot of auditions have just turned to self-tapes.
Yeah.
And you're expected to have good quality footage, good quality sound, good quality lighting, and a blank background. They want something blank, so it's not distracting from your delivery. But that's the inside joke, is that he's freaking doing it in a smoke shop with all this stuff going on behind him, and that's him practicing. And
yeah, this is their dynamic is so funny, and Satchel is such a team player. We throw some of the most random stuff at him, and he's always just so down to do it.
He's always adapted very nicely, which is great, because especially episode 5, which we just shot, we threw everything at him.
Everything, basically all him.
Yeah.
And Kevin, the little rotating in the background, and
oh, and the funny thing too is, because again, this is shot in a certain style where, in, like, say for example, sitcoms like The Big Bang Theory. Wow, we're aging ourselves again.
I know.
But
see,
okay, so Frasier,
oh no,
Jerry Seinfeld,
getting
Big Bang
worse.
Theory.
Getting worse.
They all have live audiences. So there's sometimes they're using laugh tracks, you can tell, but there are other points where when a joke is delivered, the audience laughs, and that's part of what makes it humorous. Is that when someone else laughs, you start laughing. And if I go ha 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 ha, like I'm sure it at least just put a smile on your face, even if it didn't make you laugh. So the point is when we're filming this, we don't have that going on. We don't have a live audience.
No.
So what I was doing in the editing was taking as many moments as I could of Kevin laughing, putting them separately on the timeline so I'd have a Kevin laugh track. So if there was a joke that was delivered, I'd like throw in the audio from like the far left or the far right, like he was watching this happen and he just started busting up laughing. So Kevin is our laugh track.
He's our laugh track, and this is Brody. He's actually in our feature, Delicate Little Thing, so you might recognize him if you watch the BTS footage from that. But he's great, such a team player. Great little actor. It was his whole idea to have his wallet be this cut up water jug full of change, and the I'm Nicholas with the nickels was his.
What's funny is he's asking, no, give me the expensive item. Give me the expensive item.
Yeah.
No, but our running joke there was that Satchel looks like Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
So we actually throw that in several episodes.
A lot of them.
Oh my God, has anyone told you you look like Timothy Chalamet? Maria, when she was at the register, she's like, oh my God, is this you? And she holds up his headshot. And,
Yep.
oh, and this is one of those moments where we have the camera like acting as a person because we want the cast interacting with the camera because otherwise it's weird that this is going on. And so we make jokes about it. Like Brody looked at the camera and says, whoa, what are you guys being audited or something? Abigail's cussing out the cameraman right there.
Josh makes a comment of it. Luba does. I don't think Lyra makes a comment, but she looks at it.
And then, but yeah, so we're selling this as Boston, who's the store manager, played by Elena, the weed influencer. We're selling this as this was her publicity idea.
Yeah, her marketing concept to get the show more attention. But what's kind of cool about it too is as we're shooting this, the shop is actually open. So there are moments where we're having to pause or cut and you know, clients are coming in and guests are coming in and they're like, oh, we're sorry. And we're like, no, come on in.
But the shop owner's cool with it. He actually wanted it to be that way so that people would see what's going on and stuff like that and make it more interactive.
And they ask questions. They're like, oh, what are you guys doing? This is really cool. This is fun.
Oh, and the boom. We got to make reference to the boom dropping down. That was Alex's idea.
We do. I just think it's funny to me. It might be stupid, but it makes it look like the crew that's filming this mockumentary have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
Which I think is funny. This is our little homage to Kevin clogging the toilet. And this was an accident when she ran into the thing. But it works. It's so funny. But, yeah, there's all these little, like, personal inside things that we added that might not work for anybody else. But we enjoy them, so.
Yeah. And we're totally going for that, like, Cheech and Chong office meets Clerks meets It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia kind of vibe. So it's a lot going on. But again, that's why this first episode a little rocky, but we're really catching up on that.
Yeah. Originally we wanted to call it Up in Smoke.
Yeah, but
that's off the Cheech and Chong movie, but we leaned away from that. And I think Kev's Holy Smokes is just so ridiculous, and it works better for the title.
And that's actually what we started doing was when we figured out that we had to change the title to this, we were like, oh, Kevin, this should be, like, since you don't speak that often, you should be the one who'd be like, holy smokes, directly at camera.
And you noticed it said 19 subscribers. Well, joke's on you, because we're at 27.
27 now.
So slow down.
So that's my aunt, uncle, your mom.
Exactly. My sister, my dad.
I know it's not my dad. It's not his vibe.
But no, my mom watched it. She's like, I don't really understand. But that's all right. But yeah, that's so crazy. That's the BTS, the trailer, and the first episode of Holy Smokes.
Yeah.
It feels like ages ago, but it really...
I mean, time's flying. I mean, we're getting a lot done. I mean, we're only halfway through the year, which is crazy to say, but...
But we started in February?
No, slightly after, because February is when we finished another fucking Fairytale, so it was slightly after that we started going after this.
March, April, May, June, July. I mean, we're barely... It's
probably around March that we started this.
Yeah. Just over 3 months.
Yeah.
And we're halfway through the first season, so... And we had a delay, because obviously we were waiting for Kevin in his accident.
And that was the big thing, was when he was in the hospital. I mean, and he was in and out for a while, because he had 2 different surgeries.
Yeah, it's touch and go.
He had 2 different surgeries after about a week of no improvement. So for like that first week, no improvement. I mean, he was in and out, and I overheard him talking to a customer. Like he even technically died a couple of times.
That's what he told me yesterday.
Yeah. So it's
lucky to have him.
Knock on wood. And so to help lighten the mood with his mom and like help her spirits and such, we were showing her footage from this, and it was making her laugh, making his sisters laugh. And when Kevin finally woke up after those 2 surgeries, so a week went by, he had 2 surgeries, finally woke up. He couldn't speak yet because he had that tube going down his mouth to help him breathe. So we would just go there and talk to him, and he would more or less just nod, but he was also so drugged out. But we were talking to him about the show, because obviously we wanted to proceed as respectfully as possible. Yeah. And I remember talking to him about it, and his eyes would just tear up. And um, so that being number one, but also number two, it's in one of our blooper reels that I posted on Instagram. It was when Danny was boom operating for Kevin, and he was lowering the boom into frame.
Yeah.
And Kevin's like, I think that's too close, bro. And he's saying it with a smile because obviously it's a joke. But then as soon as Danny raises it and you hear Alex say, all right, everybody, you see Kevin like go back into character. And so again, not being an actor, you can see how hard he's trying.
Yeah, he's
and
putting a lot of work in.
He's putting his best into this. And so that being number two, for those two reasons, you could really tell how much this meant to, how much it means to him.
Yeah.
And so instead of rewriting and recasting and moving on without him, we were like, okay, we're going to postpone this as long as possible. Instead of weekly drops like we originally wanted, like theoretically, we probably would have been done with this series already.
Yeah, we would have been.
But we wanted to postpone it as long as possible. So we put off releasing episodes as long as possible. We're doing every 3 weeks for episode drops instead of every week. And, but yeah, so
but now he's back.
Now he's back. But that's why episode 5, we had to shoot it where it was just Colt or Satchel's character or Timothy Chalamet.
Or Timothy
the other names don't mean anything to you,
yeah,
but
exactly.
Timothy. But we framed it where it's him having to deal with quite literally, well, and that's the cool thing, was all the guest stars that we've had from episode 1 to 4, they were all very cool and obviously very understanding and caring for Kevin, that we said, hey, for episode 5, we'd like to do something special.
Yeah.
Let's get you all back here on this one day and have this, you know, like mid-season finale sort of thing.
Chaotic, insane episode.
Insane. Like, I haven't even started editing that. Alex was looking through the footage with me, and he's like, you know what? I think this is going to be one of those. We're going to have to sit down, have the script there, and because it's going to be a lot of going back and forth. It was amazing. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
It's a fun episode.
It's really cool just because the best part about these episodes, I'd say, would be the guest stars. I mean, they bring so much different energy for each of them.
Yeah.
And
but that's the whole point is, you know, it's a community smoke shop.
Right.
And you're going to get the same people
and that's
every day.
That's kind of how it is in real life.
Yeah.
Of at that smoke shop. I mean, it's because they've been around, I want to say, for like 14, maybe 15 years. So they have a lot of regulars that have been going there for the longest time. And they all kind of have their different kind of topics that they talk about with the shop owners and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it was cool. It was very cool.
It was fun to, because that was episode 5. That was a strange halfway through rewrite, because I rewrote it after Kevin's accident to kind of make it so we could postpone his healing as much as possible, but still leave on kind of not a cliffhanger, but a fun, chaotic little episode. And so yeah, it was a lot, but Kevin's back, and so we should start shooting the rest pretty soon. But
yeah. But anyways, so that is the intro, some GoPro BTS, and a breakdown of the first episode. And like I said, Alex and I want to start doing more videos like this, where we're putting our face on camera, talking to you guys. Let us know down below if this is stuff that you like. If it's like, no, you guys should just shut up and post more finished content. This is so stupid. You guys don't know what you're talking about. If that's how you feel, then by all means, let us know. I mean,
if we see that comment, it's probably my mom.
Yeah.
So please stop doing this.
I don't understand this. I'm sorry, Mrs. Miller. I've never met you before. I'm sure you're great. I'm not meaning to make fun of you. I owe you a Christmas and birthday birthday present now. I don't mean that.
But yeah, we'll do more. We plan to do this kind of for every episode, and you know, once we release another fucking Fairytale, we'll do the same for those.
There's so much GoPro for another fucking Fairytale.
So much.
Yeah, heck of a lot. So again, we just want to share this journey of independent filmmaking with you guys.
Yeah.
So
how we did it, the struggles, the fun parts, and all the in between parts.
Yeah. And then one day, I mean, we'll be able to show these videos to our kids and be like, "Yo, see, we were cool.
Yeah.
We were studs."
Like, Dad, you were a loser. Like, yeah, I know.
Hey kid, watch Frasier.
But yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you next time. And God, I feel like what is it? What are we forgetting?
Yeah, what was it?
I don't remember.
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
What was it again? Cool beans.
Cool beans.